Hi, Fashion Dolls. It is finally Friday, and y'all know what time it is. It is my 800th episode of Style by Stevie Fashion Dolls. We made it. Woo! Yes, the goal is complete. Joining me today in Girl Talk, we have two fabulous ladies, and my girls will be joining me. I see my girl Hope is here, and she's been on the show previously, and we have my girl Nekelia, Nikki Brown. Now, it was originally supposed to be four of us, but shout outs to our girl Jaquay Wade Pearson. She hopefully will be joining us in the next one, which will be slated for next month in June. So I'm excited for this. Oh my God, we are back. This is a new crew of ladies that I'm going to be doing Girl Talk with. I have another branch as well too that we did for the previous season, but these are new ladies, and we're going to be getting into some things, sipping our drinks and enjoying Friday and celebrating my 800th interview episode of Style by Stevie. So it all correlates together. I see my girl Hope. I want to introduce the ladies before they come in, before I add them up, but thank you all so much for your love and your unconditional support, just for supporting the platform, tuning in every single day. I mean, it's just been a journey, and the story, this chapter right here is not finished yet. It's not finished at all. I have so much more that I want to continue to work on in the year of 2025. And I'm super excited to see what else is in store and in the horizon for me, as well as my girls, my ladies, Hope and Nekelia. We're waiting on Nekelia so that we can get into this girl talk. I'm super excited. So let me check the chat to make sure that my ladies are ready. I see Hope, but I'm waiting on Nekelia as well. Let me send the live to her, and maybe we can get her in that way. And thank you, I Lauren Jamal, thank you. We're going to be getting into a few topics today, and then we're also going to give you some affirmations that we personally chose as well to help you get you through all of the craziness. So I'm excited. But I'm going to go on ahead. I'm not going to keep Hope waiting any longer. I'm waiting on Nekelia, and then we can get right into it. So I'm going to add my girl Hope. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the dollhouse again, my girl Hope Ellis.
Hey,
Hi.
hey,
Hi, gorgeous. How
hi.
are you?
Good.
It is such a pleasure to have you here.
Yes, absolutely. I'm glad
Yeah.
to be here.
Yes. So we're waiting on Nekelia. Hopefully she will be joining us. I just added her at the chat, and I sent her the live also. But before we get into this girl talk, how have you been, Miss Lady? You have been working. You have projects coming out. I've been seeing you post left and right, advertisements. You just celebrated a birthday. All of this and so much more. How has everything been since our last conversation?
Great. I mean, like you said, just posting, doing and posting, everything from the music to filming. Got fashion shows coming up. Celebrated my 43rd birthday. Um, all is well in the midst of all that's going on in the world. All is well here.
And I can't wait to get you ladies' opinions. And I see one of my ladies from the other girl chat is here, Clara, the Armageddon Diva. Clara, if you want to come up and join the panel, you are more than welcome to. So I love to mix Black women together. I love us all to have our perspective, because a lot of people think that we're just in one big thing, but we're not a monolith. We all have different walks of life. We have different perspectives. And my ladies are here. So Clara and Nekelia, ladies and gentlemen. So you'll have four Black women on the panel. Clara, if you are glammed up and ready, you are more than welcome to join us, girl. Because I like to mix and match. So I'm going to be doing a lot of that, because this is the vision two of my girl talk group. And then I have the vision one, which is my girl, Ro Underwood, Simone. Clara, let me know if you're interested in coming up. And she's coming on the show later this month as well, too. So I can't wait for that. But introducing to the dollhouse, my girl, actress, Nekelia Nikki Brown. We have two actresses. Girl. Oh my goodness. All right. So my beautiful ladies are here. Welcome to Girl Talk. And this is the new branch. All right. So we are going to be getting into some topics. But before we get into that, Nekelia, how have you been, girl?
I have been great. I have been
Yes.
wonderful. How about you?
I have been great. I was just talking with Hope. Hope just celebrated her 43rd birthday, and we were catching up. She's also been working in some projects. Both of you ladies have been working, and I'm proud of the both of you because, again, that consistency, that drive. And Nekelia, the last time you were here, you were telling me about your cosmetics brand that you wanted to get jumping off of the ground. So I
hmm
can't wait to see what is in store about that. And this is the first time the ladies are meeting face to face. We've been chatting in the group amongst ourselves. So, Hope and Nekelia,
Nice
ladies,
to meet
welcome,
Nice to
you.
welcome,
meet you.
welcome.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Yes, yes, yes. So it is finally Friday, or Fierce Female Friday, shall I
Ooh,
say.
yeah.
And we're going to be getting into a few topics, and then we're going to give you guys some affirmations to send you on your way as well. So it's been so much craziness going on. Nekelia, before you jumped on, I was talking to Hope. Hope says there's been a lot of craziness going on in the world, and we're going to get down to the bottom of
Oh
it.
my
We
goodness.
got a lot to
Yes.
discuss. Whew. First of all, before we jump into it, I'm stalling because I want to know, ladies, how has your mental health been? Because I know for us as Black women, that is key. That is critical to us because it is a new tagline that is going around, and I'm pretty sure y'all have all seen it on TikTok. Everyone watching, Black fatigue is trending right now.
Mhm.
And I think for us more than ever, as Black people and mainly as Black women, it is important for us to continue to speak up and be vocal about what we're feeling. And systemically, racism is involved, as we're seeing with this administration, which we'll be talking about. It's a whole lot. But ladies, how have you been protecting your peace lately, individually?
Wanna go, Nika?
You can go first.
By by just staying focused, taking time to just relax when I can. Spending time with my babies, they bring me such joy. I have an 18-year-old and a 7-year-old. My 18-year-old is graduating and going on to ECU, so that brings me great joy as well. Spend just trying to stay focused and avoid everything that's going on. Shut the phone down for a few minutes.
Uh-huh.
Cutting the TV off, you know, and just trying to stay focused, like, and keeping my boys the same way, just redirecting what they may have heard at school or seen on social media themselves. And just the key is, like I said, stay focused. But I'm well, I'm still smiling in the midst of, because we're going to
You
be all
got
right.
to.
We're going to be
Yeah.
all right. Mhm.
Absolutely. And the same for me. Like you just said, Hope, just, stay focused. Even if you have to stay off of social media at least for 24 hours, I think that that's great because
Telling.
every time we turn on social media, turn on the news, we hear about something. So even if it's for 24 hours, just stay off social media. Same way, I enjoy spending time with my children. I have two little preteens. They're almost 13 and 14, and I also have a 23-year-old. So I just turned 44 this year. So yeah, and self care is so important. So if you can get away and go get your nails done, get your hair done, do something for yourself. Even if it's just buying yourself a bottle of perfume, do something for yourself. And even check on your people. Check on people that are close to you, family members, friends,
Yeah.
because they go through stuff too that they don't even tell us about.
You're right. Right. Mhm. Yeah, because
And
I
it's
mean,
key
like I tell people all the
and
time,
crucial.
yeah,
Go
yeah.
ahead, Hope. I'm sorry.
Earth is so off axis, and I believe I mentioned that in the last live. Earth is so off axis, and
Yes.
the energy of the people drives it all. And
hmm
everybody is going through so much right now. And to me, social media, if you're not watching the positive, it wants to infect you, infect the mind. That battlefield of the mind. So, like I said, it's important, very relevant for us to just focus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And stay
Amen.
centered. if you have to unplug, unplug. And trust me, and for me, keeping everybody informed on what's going on is a lot for me as well, too, to take in and digest. But that's what they want. The devil will not win. They want you to be worn down, beaten down, and defeated. And even to the viewers, a lot of people are going through a lot of things, as Hope just said. And turning on the news ain't going to make it any better. It's like we go through what's called doom scrolling. We scroll through
Right.
and it's a new headline every single day.
Right.
It is breaking news, breaking news, breaking news. But I'm going to go back to what Hope said earlier, which is we must maintain our joy. In some sort of way, we have to find the light in the midst of all of this chaos.
Amen.
So, as Black people, it's resilient. It's in our blood. We always bounce back through whatever is thrown at us. You can throw a whole house at us. We will always find a way to bounce back and reinvent ourselves. And that is key. That is crucial. And that is important for all of us as Black people, and mainly as Black women, as we're seeing with the healthcare disparities and what they wanted to do with healthcare. We're going to get into that. But let's get right into it. Fashion dolls, are y'all ready? Are y'all ready for some girl chat? Are y'all
Yeah.
ready?
Yeah.
Okay, so the first topic is, okay, and I'm pretty sure everybody has seen it. Walmart is going to be raising their prices. So let's talk about what's going on right here. And I know a lot of people depend on Walmart because if you live in a small area and there are no other grocery stores or facilities, then you have no choice but to go to Wally World. You have no choice but to go to Wally World. And a lot of people go there because you get a better deal versus going to another grocery store, and you're having to pay just for that one item. But here's what's going to be impacted by these tariffs that he's imposing. Um, we love roses. As Nekelia mentioned, give yourself roses, buy yourself perfume. Bananas, roses, avocados, toys, and some of the items that are hit by higher tariffs according to the company. Now, when this gentleman, the CEO of Walmart, said that he is going to be raising the prices immediately, I'm like, oh, well, you didn't even give it no time. Now, this 90-day tariff, these pause on these tariffs for 90 days because of him and China going back and forth.
Yeah.
That's going to impact us, the consumers, every day. You are willing to take Christmas away from our children, our nieces and nephews, our children. You are willing to raise the prices to impact everyday people who are struggling already to get in and get out. So it says the chief financial officer, John David Rainey, said the shoppers will likely start to see increases towards the end of this month and also more in June next
Yeah.
month. So, ladies, your thoughts?
I always ask if you want to go first. It's just,
Go ahead,
uh,
go.
you know, I feel like, I mean, it's definitely going to hurt us, hurt the pockets. But then you have to learn to rebudget as well. From the electronics and toys, I have a baby. Food and products, I think they're going to try to aim to keep the domestic food prices kind of stable. The household goods and things like that, furniture, appliances, all that. Um, like I said, we all will be affected, but we just have to rebudget. Like, shop black. I tell people shop black a little bit. Maybe we'll look out for one another and I'm gonna start a garden in the country. I'm gonna land in the country. Start a garden, grow your own food. Um, hey, cut back on meat. Cut back on meat a little bit. Um, Anything we have to do survival. That's one thing about growing in the country. We learn survival.
Mm-hmm.
If mom and dad can't afford chicken and fish this week, we'll go out and we'll kill Peter Rabbit, you know, hunt in the woods and go get a rabbit. So it's all about just restructuring our finances to fit what's to come.
And I
I completely agree
that
with
is
that.
key and critical. It's
Mhm.
very, very key and critical because with all of us, oh my God, Nikila was talking. Go ahead, girl. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay. I completely agree with you, Hope. Not to always look at the situation as a negative, but
Right.
sometimes that negative could be a blessing or it could be a positive. Because of course, we know that food is high, food is expensive. But like you just said, you mentioned something that was key about growing a garden. Just think about it. Like back when we had the pandemic and a lot of the stores were closed and it wasn't no milk. I think it was an issue. I don't know if it was around the pandemic time or before that where they couldn't find like baby formula and stuff like that. Well,
There
the
was a
women that
shortage of
breastfeed,
everything.
right, the women that breastfeed, they didn't have to worry about that, because they could breastfeed their babies. But what about the ones that couldn't? So as far as like readjusting some things and, maybe eating cleaner, things like that. Like you said, budgeting, all of those things help, so a lot of times, what we think is a negative could be a positive, and then it may not last long because maybe they're just like trying to do something thinking that, okay, well, if we raise this, let's see what happens, and then it goes back to the way it was before.
Yeah, yeah.
You see, so
Fear
I
factor.
completely agree with you. And then growing a garden, that's awesome.
Yeah, fear factor. It's all wanting to implement fear into people.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
It's a fear
yeah,
tactic. Absolutely.
definitely.
And especially in the Black household, for us growing up, as Hope just said, which is growing your garden. I'm starting to see a lot of Black people on TikTok get out here and say, well, you know what, I'm gonna go on ahead and get my soil. If you guys follow Politics by Tabitha, she has been doing a whole gardening journey. And she said her son hates to see her pull her truck back in the yard because she always has some soil on the truck. Make sure that y'all are going out here and harvesting in your garden, making sure that you're growing your own fruits. It's another Black woman on YouTube called I think her name is Yellow Garden Homestead. And she has a whole garden full of vegetables and fruits. She grows them in her backyard. And she knows how to preserve them. A lot of people know how to preserve their fruits and vegetables. So, for when the next season, you got winter, spring, summer, and fall, you'll have something on standby because times are going to get rough for us as people of color. And I've seen as in some stores, there's a shortage on things.
Yes.
Avocados are expensive. Eggs are expensive. All of these things that we keep in our homes, they are starting to go up because we are living in a time of uncertainty. 1 minute he can back off and cave in and give China what they want, but China's not backing down. You started this trade war with China, but China's saying, I got you. I got you. And that's for me being a fashion girl. Y'all know I'm a fashion girl.
Yes.
When they said we're going to reveal everything, y'all know where I'm going. They said we're going to reveal it all, honey. Your clothes are not made down there. We make them. So we got something for you. We're going to let them know who makes the clothes actually.
Right.
We're going to let you know. So you can keep trying to bully China and all these other countries if you want to, but these countries are not backing down. They're not just going to let you come in and bulldoze over them, especially when they make all of the products that are being shipped here to the United States. Ports are empty because of what you're doing, the trade war that you're sparking off with other countries. And half of this stuff will enrich his pockets.
Yeah.
Especially with this $400 million lavish jet plane that Cutter, whatever the hell it is, they're paying for.
Yeah.
Tax-paying dollars, our hard-earned tax-paying dollars. So our people need to learn about the imports as well as the exports, how they come in and how they come out. Now, my girl Nekelia here, she says she's starting a company, her cosmetics company, and it's all about distributing and manufacturing. Say, for instance, she wants to go and she wants to put her products on the shelf in, let's say, Ulta or Sephora. It's all about putting it out there, putting the brand out there, marketing, all of these things. And I think a lot of people need to go and understand civics, economics. I took economics in high school, government economics. So if you would know, you know about trading and how the stock and all of these things that impact us as the consumers every day as we're spending. So I say keep the boycott for Walmart and Target going. Definitely. You don't want us to, you're willing to bend the knee and cave and give him what he wants. The black dollar is powerful, and I'm gonna keep saying it. I'm gonna keep reminding each and every one of us that are watching that black dollar is powerful because y'all saw how much Target lost, all alone off of the strength of us because we spend money there.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And it is a lot of black owned businesses there in Target as well too.
Right.
Absolutely.
You-
So those are just my thoughts, my 2 cents. I say keep the boycott
Yeah.
going because just like they spend money, we spend
Yeah.
money. And I tell people that all the time as well too. Where we are living in times of uncertainty, withhold your money,
Mm-hmm.
preserve your money, and
Yeah.
invest.
Invest.
Invest into black owned businesses, Hope said.
Mm-hmm.
It is time for us to start doing that.
Yeah.
So make sure that you are supporting any black owned business out here that you see. And it is a black woman who created a whole app where it can tell you whatever you need. Shop the hood. Shop the
Okay.
hood. And if you want lingerie, if you want jewelry, if you want to know the best restaurants that are black owned to eat at, you can find all of that at Shop the Hood. It's right here on the gram. So
Right.
a lot of people were giving her backlash because of the name, but I'm like, uh, I don't care about the name. If it's a black woman who's providing us resources
Mm-hmm.
that we as people need to shop at black owned businesses, I'm definitely here for it. So I
Yeah.
say, let's go on ahead and support this 100%.
Yeah.
I love
Make
that.
their pocket.
I love
Yeah.
that. You said don't worry about the name because people are always critical of something new that somebody is starting instead of us just
Right.
really supporting each other. And it's
Right.
not everybody.
You right. And it seems like to me the only business that our people support without any, you know, foolery with it is a church. So the black church is gonna have to step up too in this.
Mm-hmm.
Don't
Absolutely.
let Marvin Sapp get a hold of that church, Joe.
You know,
Lock them doors, honey. Hi, Deshaun. Welcome, my colleague Deshaun. We are here having some girl talk. We were talking about how Walmart is going to be raising their prices eventually. I am doing wonderful, and it's such a pleasure to have you here. So, welcome if you're just coming in. We were talking about the price increase that you guys will be expected to see closer to the end of this month and then leading up to June. So, make sure that you are staying aware. If you see something that you originally wouldn't pay a whole lot for, go up in the store, pay attention. Make sure you're paying attention to it. All right. So we're going to go on to the next one, ladies. This one, my God. Who wants to take this next topic first? Because you both are moms. And I know for African American women, there is a high infant mortality rate. We know that there is healthcare disparities, maternal birth rate disparities as well too. So here's the headline, and I'm gonna let my ladies jump in, and then I'll go last. Hospital tells a family that a brain dead Georgia woman must carry the child to birth because of a Trump-wide abortion ban. Ladies,
I did see that. You know, my prayers go out to the mother.
yes.
That's she won't get a chance to just experience her positive pregnancy or see her baby. So my prayers go out to her and her family first and foremost. Um, with the ban, it's almost like they force you to make a decision that's beyond your control. Because with the situation like that, I mean, she's not physically able to take care of that child. What if nobody else in the family can take that child? What if she doesn't have any family? So they're not even thinking about that. They're just thinking about, okay, we have this law, it's banned. She has to go through with this, you know. But I just pray that child is delivered safely and is healthy, and that hopefully somebody in her family can take care of the baby. You know,
I agree.
yeah. But that's a very devastating
It
situation for her to
is.
be in,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't agree with it at all.
Me either.
You know,
You know, well, we all see that this isn't just a legal issue; it's profoundly a human one. And
absolutely.
my thing is, if the laws can accommodate like compassion and complexity and like personal choice, then honestly, they risk doing more harm than good. You know, So, I mean, I just, like you said, we pray for the family and everything, and that somebody will take that child in, that he won't have to be sold to the system.
Hmm.
Yeah. I could
Yeah,
imagine.
because that was my
Yeah.
first thought. Like, okay, who's going to get the baby? They're not
Yeah.
even thinking about the baby. If the baby is going to be healthy, anything can happen.
Hmm.
And I'm just going to share a personal experience of mine. I actually, well, I have three children,
Hmm.
but I have two boys and a girl. But my first daughter, she was born with a hole in her heart, and she had to undergo open heart surgery at 2 weeks old. And eventually, I did lose my daughter. She passed away at 17 months old. So with that type of situation, she was healthy, but of course, with the heart surgery, it caused pulmonary problems. So just speaking back on that situation, they don't know if that child is going to be healthy. We don't know what all is going on with the mother. So I was a healthy woman. So this woman is not. This woman is in a state where she might not be here in the next
Right.
few days.
Right.
So if the child is, whether or not the child is safely delivered, and then they bring the child into the world, who knows if that baby is going to have any issues? So like I said, what if nobody in the family is able to get the baby? What if they are? They have to take on a child that potentially may or may not have any type of health issues. We don't know that. So
Yeah.
for them to force this woman to go along with having to physically give birth to this baby, and she can enjoy it, we don't know the state of the baby, if everything's going to be okay. I mean, it's a very sad situation. It's almost like humanly, they just don't care about us
They
as
don't.
women, you know? So, that's just my thought. I just thought I'd
I
share
agree. I agree. I'm with you.
No, girl, you speaking from personal experience.
that.
And Clara, who was just here, shared her story as well too, about how she lost her baby and how she kept. A lot of women are wanting to go for infertility treatments. A lot of women can't conceive or bear a child. But here's some stats for you, fashion dolls, if you're watching. Black women experience a disproportionately high risk of maternal mortality compared to white women in the United States. Now, this is in 2022. The maternal mortality rate for black women was 49.5 deaths per live births. I'm gonna read what Deshaun just said in the comments. This makes me angry because it goes back to what Nekelia just said. They don't care about us. And for those of you who are wondering, like, Lord, when is it going to be over? Cruelty is the point with this administration. Now, you saw how they brought in all them white South Africans. They're going to be living the life of lavishness. They're going to be living good. They're going to be getting decent health care in this country. Whereas if you are black or brown in this country, how it's always been for us for decades, we will be denied health care. Remember those days when if you live, all three of us are country girls up here, where our parents, our great grandparents would have to come up with remedies and things in the country to be like, oh, the baby's sick. No, let me try my
Yeah.
remedy before I send the baby to the doctor first, because you had to pay out of pocket. Insurance companies were expensive everything.
Hmm.
So another thing, racial bias in healthcare systems and societal factors can also affect access to care and treatment outcomes for women. Now, a Trump-wide abortion ban is not just in red states, but it's also in blue states, and it is going to impact women in red and blue states. Now, here's the key right here. Adriana Smith was 30 years old. Henrietta Lacks was my age, 31 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And we heard the story about
Yeah.
Henrietta Lacks, for those of you who do not know. And it's two women in the same eras, both stripped of their autonomy. This is to control women, beat women into submission. It's literally the handmaid's tales. We are living in a dystopian Gilead where rich white men can tell women, black women, women across the nation, what we can do with our bodies. Not on my watch, as long as I can make it. I'm going to continue to keep calling it out, because if your wife has a health care disparity, what's going to happen? What are you going to do? What are you going to do when your wife
Right.
is a health care disparity?
Right.
Absolutely. And it
But
would
with
have to
African
hit home
American women,
for them to understand. And then even then they might not care, you
Right.
know. So
Yeah. We soulless people.
mhm.
Yeah.
no, accountability, none whatsoever. And if it's not just Adriana, but it is also Amber Nicole Thurman, and I'm gonna keep speaking her name. She was also in the Georgia area, and
Hmm.
this woman was denied life-saving care. It's cruelty is the point with this administration.
My
And this
God.
is something that Kamala was trying to get people to understand, that Black women have the most healthcare disparities. Black people, we all have the most healthcare disparities. And under this administration, with RFK Jr., who just swam around in raw sewage, when I saw that story, when I tell you, I was like, what are we living in right now? Like, our world is upside down.
Yeah.
And this man said,
Yeah.
don't take medical advice from me. You think we are? No. We're not taking any healthcare advice from you. You got a brain worm and everything. We don't want no sort of advice from you. Y'all are playing with our lives. And I'm seeing it firsthand because my mother, when it comes to picking up her medications and stuff down here, she's having to pay extra. That's another thing. The
Hmm.
racism isn't just physical where they assault you and things, but they go for you economically. They go for your pockets and they try to overcharge you. And my mother clocked that. And she
Hmm.
said, you know what? Let me go on ahead and transfer over to another pharmacy. Let me go on ahead and transfer to another pharmacy. So she's now currently with Walgreens. But at the doctor's office she's at, they are playing with her medications. 1 minute they have it in the correct hands and then they transfer it over to somewhere else. I'm like, y'all are playing Russian roulette with people's lives.
Hmm.
And you don't play around with people's meds. You don't play around with people's health care. So RFK Jr. is no help. He's not going to offer any help. And neither is Dr. Oz. Whereas they are clinical, they are licensed to do this. You should be helping people. But as Hope said, cruelty is the point. They're getting rid of Medicaid thanks to Kennedy. Today I've got some good news on that. Thank you for reminding me, Deshaun. Let's get into that. Um, they tried to propose this big dream bill that would go, all of the funding for everything in Medicaid and Medicare would go to billionaires and millionaires. So let's get into what happened today. Some good news. Finally, some good news. Major breaking news. Trump's big, beautiful bill suffers a devastating defeat in the House Budget Committee, where 5 Republicans joined Democrats to vote it down 16-21. This is humiliating for Trump. So, y'all, you will still continue to get your decent health care in this country. So, yes, I want to talk about that too, Deshaun. He wants to cut funding from the National Prevention Helpline because we know there's a lot of people out here who suffer with bipolar disorder, who suffer with depression, and you want to cut funding from the one resource that helps people. This is cruelty to the 10th power, and
It is.
it's unimaginable. It's not going to stop. As long as that man is in that White House and he's got a pen in his hand, he's going to sign all sorts of executive orders that can be directed to hurt us as Black people.
Mhm.
And you're not just hurting us, but you're hurting your constituents who voted for you as well too, who put
Right.
you there in the first place. And we're
Absolutely.
seeing a lot of these FAFO videos of the Trump supporters finding out. One of them was a woman, and she said, I wanted to go through IVF. Who
Mhm.
was out here trying to make sure that women had the rights to their autonomy?
Right.
It was our girl Kamala. And all three of us are part of the 92% crew. Politically, all three women sitting here on this panel that you see today, we were all in for Kamala. When I asked Nekelia, when I did my first interview with her, when I asked Hope, and we talked about it, and I asked both women, I said, ladies, how do y'all feel about the current state of the world and what's going on? All three of us have been in for her as soon as she came out from the get-go, because we were going to tear Joe Biden's ass up if you wasn't going to pick her as your president. No, we was going to get into your ass. For real. You better not. It was Jesse Wood. There was a lot of other content creators out here telling you better pick her to run as president because it's tradition. Joe Biden was Obama's vice president.
Right.
So it's only fair that he passed that torch on and he passed that torch to Kamala. But unfortunately, our girl didn't win. And Black women, we did not suffer a loss. They did. They suffered a loss because this woman was well qualified and she wanted to help everybody. She didn't want to just do for one, as
Mhm.
this administration is doing. We're seeing what they're doing with these white South Africans who are now in this country, who are now here in the United States of America, who stole land and now they're being victimized and uplifted as they are. Miss Stevie, can you scroll up? There's a lot of information that I'm telling you. They're getting rid of Black history, taking stuff out of the museum you cannot do as president of the United States. That's their stuff. That's fascism, baby. That's just plain out fascism. That's how it works. We're going to circumvent the Constitution. We want to control what women do with their autonomy. We want to control what people do with their everyday lives. We want to cut funding to enrich the wealthy. Trump's big, beautiful dream bill would hurt all of us in this world. They want people to die, to suffer. But Black people, we're not going for that. We're not. Now, let me see what else Deshaun had to say. Yeah, they wanting to get rid of that. RFK is wanting to get rid of that. Definitely. And we've been talking about it in our group chat as well, too. Shout outs to my colleague, Deshaun. Tag the other guys and let them know that we're on with the Girl Talk, Deshaun. But this is key and critical because it is Black women who suffered the most healthcare disparities. Now, if you don't know about Henrietta Lacks, let me fill you in on what happened with her. Her cells were stolen in 1951. There was no consent, there was no compensation, just science using her body without her name and without her consent and without her say so. So basically, you are a human science experiment for them.
Mm-hmm.
This is not a game.
It's
You are
not.
playing with people's lives. The facts is that the poor working class, shout outs to my colleague, now's the time, are people being forced on dividing all communities. Listen, and that's what they're doing. That's what Trump is doing. It's the drag queens, it's the trans, it's the gay people, it's the immigrants. It's not them. It's not any of these marginalized groups that I just named. It's y'all wanting to enrich yourselves because you're so goddamn selfish. That's what it is. You want Black people to suffer. You want to bring us down to our knees. And there have been instances where we had our own towns, where we had decent health cares, decent businesses, all of that. Look at Tulsa, Oklahoma. And my girl
Look at him.
Nekelia here is a Texas native. So we know the history of Galveston. We know the history of
Mm-hmm.
Galveston and how y'all treated them during the Hurricane Helene, also Hurricane Milton.
Mm,
FEMA is another thing.
mm.
You want to take away SNAP, Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program for new mothers. Now, how a new mother's going to be able to pay for baby formula? Do you know how expensive Enfamil is?
Mm-hmm.
And it's all to enrich you while you go on your private jet plane and you fund your private parties for your Bitcoin using our hard-earned tax-paying dollars. And you know what? Janet Hubert from The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, she said this, and Lord, I hope they don't lock us all up for this. But she said, don't pay taxes at all. And I agree. Don't pay taxes to him because if it's going to go to fund Donald Trump and his pockets, don't pay anything. Don't contribute any one red cent to anything. Make their pockets hurt. Eat the rich. That's what I say. Because y'all want to bring us as Black people down when we've been through the most in this
We
country. As Deshaun
have.
said in the comments, the Smithsonian Museum, we're seeing African American artifacts be erased out of the Smithsonian Museum. Contributions that Black people that we have invented and worked hard on in this country are being erased currently, right now, as we speak. The military has been purged, and now you have nothing but Trump loyalists there. And they're not even qualified to do the job.
Wow. Mm.
But we're DEI hires, right? Let me tell you something about Black women. We are the top educated in this country. Stats have shown that time and time again. How do I know about all of these things? Because I read and I do my research before everything. While the ladies were in the process of getting ready, all three of us, because we're women, it takes women a little bit longer to get ready. I was reading over while I was doing my hair and makeup for today's show. I was reading over. And that's another thing. They don't want us to be educated because you're a threat to them. So how do we know about Henrietta Lacks because you tried to silence her story. You tried to erase, which is what's the whole goal of Project 2025. And you have been warned. I mean, Kerry Washington took the time to warn you. Taraji P. Henson took the time in that whole segment at the BET Awards to warn you. And now people are finding out. It's impacting them. When you wanted to sock it to black people, you wanted to hurt us. Y'all are the ones suffering as well, too. Black people, we know how to survive. We know how to get through this because we've been through this before. And it's not by choice, it's by force. Well, let me see what Deshaun just said. Well, the elite don't want to be found out for all of the dirty things, such as children. And the elite is also, yeah, beard. Beard. They can do whatever they want to. And what's so crazy is one of the men who backed Donald Trump, who is also a part of the LGBTQ community. But they don't care because they're getting paid. But let that be a black person that is a part of the LGBTQ plus community. Yeah, they're using Trump to do it. And Trump is the Trojan horse of Vladimir Putin. He's the Trojan horse of Carter. Is that how I pronounce it? I think that's how you pronounce it. Carter. He is now the Trojan horse of them. They can easily buy a president. And what did Elon Musk do in this election? He used his money to buy this election. And no, he did not win by a landslide. That's a whole nother conversation. But we are talking right now about the healthcare disparities of African American women and black people and what we can do to survive these times. Everything is all a business to create chaos. Thank you, Deshaun. I love what you just said because you know who else said the same thing that Deshaun just said? Was a comedian by the name of Dulce Sloan. She said America has been built as a business for rich white men.
Mm-hmm.
And they will be the ones that will benefit, not black people, even though we are building our businesses, we're growing, we're flourishing, all of these things. They will try to put an obstacle in our way to keep us back. So now y'all want to try to reverse it and make yourselves seem like the victims when y'all are not the victims. We are black people. We know the real true history of this country. And y'all would rather try to whitewash it and dumb it down to make people seem as though, oh, well, that didn't happen. Let's not talk about race. No, let's have the conversation about racism and the healthcare disparities in the health system. Let's talk about it. Because the more y'all try to erase, Jamie Foxx said it best, the more we will try to, replace. The more y'all try to erase, the more we will replace, and the more the truth will come out as well. That's what's going to happen. And they're using the LGBT as a distraction, absolutely. While they pocket your 401k, your retirement pensions, while they lift. And this goes toward Donald Trump and his so-called presidential library. Name one time I seen this fool pick up a book.
What he said, 2 Corinthians.
That's exactly what he said. And didn't even put his hand on the Bible. Thank you, Deshaun. Did not, you got sworn in January 20th. You didn't even put your hand on the Bible. Now we know that that's presidential legacy. You put your hand on the Bible, you let people know, like, hey, I'm going to uphold the Constitution. This fool said, I don't know if I'm going to uphold the Constitution. I can tell you the answer to that. No, he's not going to hold it. Yes, this is actually happening to the Trump supporters. This is happening because you voted for this. And we are going to keep reminding you that you voted for this.
Mm-hmm.
Black people tried to warn you, but when we tried to warn you, you turned a blind eye to it because some of y'all are in this cult mentality. Y'all believe y'all chose bigotry over a well-qualified black woman, and y'all are willing to burn this country down. But you know what I say? Let it burn. Let it burn. Because guess what? A phoenix rises from the ashes. Something
Yes, it does.
greater is coming.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that.
Oh my
Amen.
goodness. And also, there's another fact. In the 1920s, women were forcibly sterilized in the name of progress. It isn't isolated. It isn't this is a pattern. If your body can be used without consent, dead or alive, this isn't freedom nor equality. There is no justice here. And we know the justice system is flawed for us as black people. The father who took his car and ran over a cop is being charged. And you look in the courtroom in that video, you have all of these officers there. This man lost his son. He is grieving.
Mm-hmm.
And it gets scary because I don't have kids. These two beautiful ladies underneath me are moms. And I can understand because I've seen the pain of, I haven't lost anyone to violence, but I know what it's like to be a mother and lose your child to senseless acts of police brutality. Having those hard-hitting conversations with your child as they grow up is scary. Having the conversations of, well, baby, they're not going to like you because of the color of their skin. Having these hard-hitting conversations. Yeah, I, I saw him stare them down. I sure did, Sean, and rightfully so. Oh, yeah, that's another thing. Black people, we understood the assignment. So when they say nationwide protests, there's nothing wrong with protests and causing a disturbance. You must, in order to counter fascism, you got to be in opposition. Let black people hit those streets. We know exactly what Donald Trump is going to do as soon as we hit those streets. And thank you, King David, for, yes, thank y'all all so much for the congrats. I mean, like, I can't believe this is happening, but it's just so surreal to me. But we know what's going to happen if black people hit those streets immediately. And if he pardons Derek Chauvin, who took the life of George Floyd, we know exactly what's going to happen. Up, no more elections, no more midterms. Looks like I'm going to declare martial law. So again, Trump's method is chaos, distraction, and tyranny. Those are the three things that he favors the most. Have you seen all of the smoke and mirrors? Have white people out here fearing us. Have white people out here fearing LGBT people. Have white people out here fearing women. Have white people feeling what they call the libs. They want to sock it to the libs. Looks to me, you sock it into yourself. And ladies, what was so beautiful is I was driving past Orangeburg, South Carolina, and when the election was going on, I seen a Trump 2024 flag in the yard. When I tell y'all, when I drove past back a few days ago, Nekelia laughed. Y'all know what's going to happen. That flag was down, y'all. And this was a farm owner. What happened? I thought he was better for the economy. What happened? How's your harvest going? How's the price of eggs for you? You wanted to sock it to black people, but y'all are feeling it too. You're losing your homes. You're losing your farms. You're losing everything. And this is all for the sake of you didn't want a black woman in that White House who was overly qualified to do the job. And see, under Biden, what gets me is that y'all didn't even know that the Affordable Care Act and the Obamacare were the same exact thing. Y'all didn't know it. To the Trump supporters, hey MAGA, black people, we warned you. It pays to listen to black women. That's why I captioned when I announced that we were doing a girl talk, because we have another one coming up as well too next month. It pays to listen to black women because women know we have an intuition, we have an instinct, we've been there. Our mothers have been there. Our aunts have been there. Our grandmothers have been there. So we know from experience. And Kamala also has background in economics and telling you how the economy should work. All of that, this, and so much more. But y'all didn't want to listen to it. Let me read some of you guys' comments, and then we're going to go to the next topic. Ooh, white people are so easily offended for nothing, for white power. It is, yes, that's what it is. They don't want to let go of that privilege. So everybody's like, what's taking black people so long? No. What's taking the Trump cult so long to finally wake up and realize that you've been duped? Y'all bought watches from this man. And what's so funny is one of the watches that y'all order is missing the T off of Trump. Y'all have been duped. Y'all have been duped by a con man. 6 times bankrupt, 6 failed businesses, and now America is his 7th business. And this is all because y'all did not want a black woman in office. It is all because y'all would rather see this country go to hell and back. So y'all wake up and realize that it was great all under Biden and Kamala. Because you could rest well at night. You didn't have to worry about planes falling out the sky. Now a lot of people are afraid to fly. We've seen plane crashes, Norfolk, so many. What do I think about Candace Owens? She can stay her coon ass over there. That's what I think. All skin folk damn sure ain't kinfolk. And we don't claim her like Zora. They mad about black women becoming an Iron Woman. It's the truth, Deshaun. Stay her ass over there. Now she's trying to rebrand. We're seeing a lot of these black conservatives that you see on Fox News try to rebrand. Down here in my state of South Carolina, y'all very quiet. Y'all are seeing what's going on. Y'all are getting the grip. Y'all are getting paid for shucking and jiving, but y'all are very quiet. Y'all seen Byron Donalds hold his town hall in, what was it, Florida? And my thing is this: y'all were raised by black women. How could you spit in the faces of black women? It must be a good book that y'all shucking and jiving for. I would never sell my people out. No matter how much we disagree, at the end of the day, we are black. We will never sell our people out. We will never sell our people out. But y'all have managed to benefit off of being the mouthpieces of white supremacy. So Candace Owens can stay over there. We don't welcome you back, girl. You tried to rebrand yourself. You went on the Breakfast Club, and Just Hilarious was on there like, well, dang, Candace. No, don't be buddy with him. Don't shake hands with him. Nothing. It's Malcolm next weekend. Yep. Vote for Trump. But it's too late. Why y'all come back for this man and favor something? Yeah. Now they're starting to regret it. Even some of the billionaires and millionaires who endorsed him in this election, because if you look at that inauguration when he was sworn in, you looking at that one box right there is a cabinet full of billionaires and millionaires. We can't relate to that as the American people.
Absolutely, and that's
So
what it
how
was
am I
about,
supposed to judge
money.
that? Go ahead, Nikki. I'm sorry, girl.
I was just going to say that's exactly what it was about, money.
Yeah, money power.
Just selfishness, because it's nothing that's happening is helping us.
Yeah, money and power.
So
And they see Donald Trump and they think that, oh, well, he's powerful. He's a businessman. He knows what he's talking about. 6 failed businesses, the art of the deal. And y'all think that this is a good businessman. Kamala went to Howard. She went to all of these colleges and universities. But Trump loves the poorly educated. That's the thing. That's why he's doing what he's doing with education. For black, historically black colleges and universities, they will suffer the most under him. He already done got South Carolina State University down here where I'm at, and cut funding from them as well too. It was all a tactic, and now the LGBT can't get married or be who they are because they're going to get judged. It's in Project 2025. A lot of people didn't believe that it was true. 900 pages. A lot of people were not going to go through and read all 900 pages, and the book was about this thick. People didn't believe. But all you had to do was go out there and look at the slides that had the bullet points. I posted them and I still have them up. And it was so many other people who warned. I remember Kerry Washington even taking the time to do a video on it. Not just Kerry Washington, but again, to Roger P. Henson at the BET Awards. Our girl T.S. Madison even took the time to say, hey, this is what's going on. This is what they're doing. Bruce Springsteen had to come out, the boss had to come out and say something about it. And he just said something about Trump again, and Trump attacked him on Truth Social, as he always do. Now, speaking of education, one of the topics that I also sent my beautiful ladies here as well too was on something that some good news. Yeah, we're going to get into YWCA Southampton's Road Conference to honor women shaping a more equitable future. That's some good news. But I want to get into how he attacks Black people on our intelligence. Now, Donald Trump says, well, why doesn't Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, who's where Nekelia's at, she's in the Texas area, uh, take an IQ test? Nekelia, you want to take it? Because this is your town, girl.
Taking an IQ test. It's almost like he was trying to insult her intelligence. Because what is that going to prove?
Mm-hmm.
That's not going to prove anything. And it's a shame that as a Black woman you have to experience something like that.
Yeah, definitely racism. Weaponizing her intelligence, weaponizing intelligence in politics. I said the broader message about this is she was not intimidated by his political bullying. You know what I'm saying?
I don't
So,
think
hey,
either.
she womaned up. So, uh, hey, it's shocking, but hey, we've been dealing with this for forever.
I'm going to say this, and Michelle Obama said it as well, too. Why is it that Black women, we're expected to dazzle at every single damn turn? I've set up interviews with male guests on my show, and it's just like, who you've had on your show, who you've had
Mhm.
on your platform. And it's just like I have to constantly go and prove myself to them, show them my resume of who I've interviewed to get them to come on the show. It's like you always have to make sure that you're on top of your game because they will try to gaslight you.
Mhm.
They will try to walk over you, especially in these corporate
Yeah,
positions. And you can be in the highest office of the land, like she is Congresswoman for the District of Texas, District 30. And this woman has to take an IQ test to prove her intelligence. It was nothing to her, but to me, it was personal because this is not the first time that he has done this.
Mhm.
He's done it to Congresswoman Maxine Waters. He's done it to Congresswoman Frederica Wilson. And on the male side, he's done it to Don Lemon. He's done it to LeBron James. He's attacked Black people's intelligence
Mhm.
because according to him, we're lazy. It was one time he said that I would prefer a short guy with yarmulke to count my money than a Black person because Black people are lazy. Blacks are
mhm.
lazy.
My God.
Yeah, yeah.
There's some
It's like,
type of
So
intimidation
yeah,
there.
yeah.
Some type of intimidation, some type of feeling as though Black people are a
Hmm.
threat. It's like it's some type of spirit where they just feel like we are a threat. And
Hmm.
I'm gonna,
yeah,
just throw this out there. Knowledge is
Hmm.
power. When you know something that somebody else doesn't know, you become a threat to
Yeah,
them. And that's why it's happening in these companies where, whether it's a Black man or a Black woman and they're intelligent and they know how to do their job and they articulate themselves very well, it's almost like we're a threat.
yeah. And even to me, like, this is strange. It says less about the IQ, and it speaks more about like power identity and like the state of political dialogue in America. It
Absolutely.
just is. I don't know. Hey,
and
it's just
you
how
know who
it
else
is what it is.
echoed that same sentiment, Hope? It was Mel Gibson. Mel
Mm-hmm.
Gibson
Hmm.
endorsed Donald Trump, y'all, and he called Kamala what? Dumbest offense post.
Yeah, it did.
Wow.
Well, if she's expected to take an IQ test, why don't you dig in that little file cabinet and let us see what's in those Epstein files?
Mm-hmm.
Let us see it all. Pam Bondi was supposed to be releasing it. What do you have to hide, Donald? Let us see those files because we
Crazy.
know your name is all over them. Yeah, the golden age where everything was white. It was great for white people, but it was not great for Black people. You had Black people in the gilded era or the golden age. It's something called, when you hear Republicans say this, oh, we're going back to the golden age. It was for white people to flourish and do well. and working class people. You can be working in a steel mill. You can be working in a coal mine, wherever. Working class, we're told what? What if we were told as black people? We were told we need to pull ourselves up by the
Yeah.
bootstraps. To the Trump supporters, the same thing that black people have been feeling, the plight we have been feeling for 400 years, y'all are starting to feel as well too. And I'm going to
That's true.
quote one of the lyrics to the song in Diary of a Mad Black Woman, which is, ain't it funny how life goes around, how those tables turn so fast that y'all are feeling the same plight and oppression that black people are feeling. How does it feel to be black in America? Because not only are they deporting black and brown folks out of this country, detaining us, locking us up, but they're also doing it to you as well too.
Yeah.
It is really sad.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to go back to what Deshaun said about the golden age. Yeah, manifest destiny, the golden age. I'm going to break it down to two words. Well, three: white Christian nationalism, which is what they're wanting to teach in the schools.
Right.
And that is the baby of white supremacy. So when they say we want to take away black history out of schools, we don't want them learning about this. Get them out of here. And you've seen the story where this man has checked out 100 books and burned books on black history, Jewish history, queer history. Hitler did the same thing. Hi, Jonesy, sweet. Welcome, beautiful. Welcome. We are talking about how Donald Trump attacked our girl, Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, repping District 30 in Texas. And how he said that she needed to take an IQ test. That's always been his attack. It's been the attack of black women and our intelligence. Yeah, they hated on Obama. That man put on a tan suit and they about lost their minds. Yeah, they made an app on how much they hate black people. And I wanted to tear into Donald Trump for that because this woman is well qualified. The same way Kamala is, Jasmine is, and she's for the people. And Nekelia just said it best: knowledge is power. And when you take away a person's knowledge, you try to hide the truth, they will replace it with their truth. Which is why in Oklahoma, you see people like Superintendent Ryan Walters, who purchased all of those books, those Bibles. And now the school lesson is how Donald Trump won the 2020 election. We know that's a damn lie. You did not win, not even by a landslide, and not even by, he said he lost by a whisker. You didn't, you lost, period. And what it took, Brett Baer on Fox News to actually fact check you and tell you, sir, no, you did not win this election, sir. No, no, you did not. And they lose it. They go into a heart. They about have a heart attack when you fact check them to their face. You got to fact check white supremacists to their faces, because we know the truth. We know who actually won the 2020 election, and it was Joe Biden. It was not Donald Trump. But we know what you did on January 6th, though, which you're trying to run away from. We all seen it. We black people were seeing it. And we letting you know that if we were to hit those Capitol stairs and do some of the shit that y'all have done, we know what would happen. But see, Biden, yeah, you were president at the time, but we know what would happen. And you trying to do it again. You're trying to bait us. See, black people, y'all, he's trying to bait us to hit those streets, because we know exactly what he would do if we do hit those streets. Black people are tired of being the shields of white supremacy, and we're not doing that any longer. And as my brother Demario King Jobs would say, denied. Nope, you don't get it from us, honey. We're not going to give you what you want. You want us to hit those streets. So that's what I have to say. Again, I so enjoy how well informed you are. Thank you, Jonesy. Thank you. And not just me, but these two beautiful women beside me. They are actresses. I got a Holly Berry and a Viola Davis here. But listen, from my experience, from my skill, I bring my 2 cents into perspective because I know this is the same sentiment that Black people are saying as well too.
Mm-hmm.
And I have these conversations with my mom. My mom is just tired. As a Black woman in this country, it's just like, I'm tired of walking into a workplace and being racially discriminated against when I have my male counterparts in here and I'm having to prove my worth as well too. Black women are tired of having to prove their worth. We're tired. Black people are tired. So I say to my Black brothers and sisters in the Black community, the Black collective, if you need to take a moment and rest, because I know this is a lot for all of us to take in. We ain't never experienced nothing like this before. This isn't a president. This isn't normal. This is fascism. This is straight out of the playbook of Hitler. And we've all learned about Adolf Hitler when we were going to school, and how he seized power and how he ruled in Germany for
Mm-hmm.
decades. So Black people, we're gonna be all right. We headed for some rough times. This is literally, if you read the Bible, this is literally the battle of
Right.
Armageddon. So when I tell you, when that preacher get up on that stage, and what does that preacher say? Get your house
Yeah.
in order. Black people, we got to get our houses
Yeah.
in order. We can do the boots on the ground. We can do 803 Fresh. Shout outs to South Carolina. We can have our boots on the ground, and we can have our black joy, because Trump is not going to steal it.
Man.
His day is definitely coming. His day is coming. You're losing in courts. Another Black woman that you attacked is the beautiful Letitia James, the Attorney General in New York.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it that you come after powerful Black women who are challenging you and pushing back at you? You thinking that we're easy to attack and come after, but no, you're not going to get that over here. We're going to push back. We're going to be critical. See, Trump is a bully, and I've dealt with bullies all throughout high school. We all have dealt with bullies. You don't put no fear in my heart, and no Black person heart. Y'all have been walking around here attacking Black people. You've seen the video of the white woman calling this autistic baby the N-word. And as a mother, that's like a gut punch to any mother that's watching. But thank the Lord for good saviors and civilians that are out here videotaping it, because technology is powerful. Homegirl said, you thinking that you're going to get donations off of this? Guess who saved the day? It was a Black woman. Black women are tired. Sometimes we want to hang up our capes. We don't want to have to be superwoman every 24/7. But this, we can rest, we can resist, and more importantly, joy is a form of resistance. And I'm totally enjoying this circus right here. I'm going to tell you, I've been sitting back watching, eating my snacks, watching them eat each other alive. I love it. When Elon Musk stepped in the picture, there was already turmoil with him and the vice president, J.D. Vance.
Mm-hmm.
And I can tell you, it's going to be more of that, because these men have very big egos. And when you have a man, ladies, speaking to all of us, when you have a man that has a big ego like Trump, when you put that shit in check, you've gained your power back. You've gained your power, because men like Trump think that they can come in and bulldoze over you and bully and antagonize.
Mm-hmm.
But Trump puts no fear in my heart,
Right.
and no person. He's a 78-year-old draft dodger. And baby, Nekelia, when I tell you, I wish I could have screen recorded or recorded my father tearing Trump alive. He read him down. He said, this guy, or this cat right here, because my father is also from New York. He is a 78-year-old draft dodger.
Mm-hmm.
My father is a decorated Marine vet. And Trump ran away because of his bone spurs.
Mm-hmm.
And we still don't know what's going on with him. We see the health decline. We see the health decline. And it's just going to get worse and worse gradually over time. How he forgets where he's at. How you were picking at Joe Biden, calling him what? Sleepy Joe. Your ass is sitting up there asleep.
Mm-hmm.
Like the old man you are. But see, when that debate happened and Kamala turned you every which way but loose, on that stage and they were still campaigning, you backed out of one of your what was it, campaign stops because you were exhausted.
What?
It's time to take a nap, Gramps. It's time to take a nap and let someone that's well qualified come in and do the job. And
Mm-hmm.
there's a list of black women that I would nominate to be president. Kamala Harris is the first. Jasmine Crockett would be the second. I would nominate Danielle Moody. Even though she says she is not going back to the White House, Michelle Obama, because baby, she let loose in her podcast about how she truly felt about not attending that inauguration. And I said, yes, this is the moment I've been waiting for because for 8 years she's been in that White House. And y'all have called this woman everything but a child of God. And she had to take those lashes because she was First Lady of the United States of America. Beautiful black woman, well qualified, who wanted to make people healthy. And what is this White House First Lady, Melania, what does she want to do? Melania is no different than her husband. They are in for the grift. Maxine Waters would be a great president. Another
Mm-hmm.
one would be Letitia James, New York. Another one would be Reese Colbert. I would nominate Reese Colbert, even though she is a host, just like myself. Reese knows her stuff. And just like myself, our tongues are both lethal. All three women on this panel, our tongues are lethal. We will read you down. So don't call in there. I've seen black Trump supporters who are men call in and harass Reese on Clay Kane's show. Well, maybe if Kamala didn't do this, y'all are still attacking this woman.
Mm-hmm.
She's not president. Your gripe is with your guy you voted to put in office. Kamala warned you. And a lot of people are giving her backlash because she said, I told you so. She did tell you. Less than 100 days, she came out swinging and hitting a home run out the park. She came out swinging because Biden dropped out of the race. There were so many calls of people telling Biden, you need to drop out. You need to drop out after the debate performance. That's what put the nail in the coffin for a lot of people, and they lost faith in Biden. But when she came in, we knew what it was going to be. It had that 2008 Obama feeling of hope, but we didn't get that in this go round. We got a 78-year-old draft dodger, twice impeached, 34-time convicted thug in chief. That's what we got. And we know why you didn't impose those tariffs on Russia, Donald. I'm just reading and roasting day. I'm tugging on his toupee a lot today, but because I know a lot of black people just feel the same way that I feel. But we know why you didn't impose those tariffs on Russia, because you didn't want to wind up like the journalist over there in Russia, where the journalist was allegedly poisoned or
Mm-hmm.
falling out of a third-story window
Mm-hmm.
or in some freak car accident. So you know to play nice with your daddy, Vlad.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you know to play very nice with him. You know not to impose those tariffs over there on Vladimir Putin. So, Donald, are you going to impose those tariffs on Russia or not? You can go and try to invade other countries like Greenland. You want to rename the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America. It's the Gulf of Mexico. You want to invade Greenland. You want to invade other countries. Where's that smoke for Russia, though?
Mm-hmm.
Because you are a Trojan horse. You are an asset to Putin. That's what you are.
Well,
I think I'm done. I've had my go round. I think I've tugged on his toupee enough. We needed that black because somebody's got to do it. Somebody's got to do it. The same sentiment that I feel a lot of us as black people feel like, ooh, he makes me so sick. Every day we turn on the news, it's something different. We can't catch a break because he's always doing something or saying something. Oh, one more tug before I let go to the next topic. The Pope Francis funeral. You were on your phone. You were chewing gum. You were like a child in church. You could not sit still.
Mm-hmm.
Melania did what was saying. Look pretty, be quiet. She sat there and did what needed to be done. And I know she's sick of me too.
Yeah.
But it's just like a child in church. Like, you literally have to pinch the child on the arm and be like, if you don't stop there right now, when you see them teeth flash, your mom growing up in the black household, when you see them two front teeth or the bottom flash, so you better get it together. Don't make me have to take you outside. You gonna listen. Yeah,
Yeah.
Donald Trump had no respect. You're sitting up there showing out at Pope Francis' funeral. You're on your phone, and then you tweeted a photo of yourself dressed as the Pope. No respect whatsoever. And
Mm-mm.
this new Pope, Pope Leo, is not a stand of you or your vice president and his leaking eyeliner, by the way. So, I mean, where do I begin? Pope Francis did not like you. Pope Leo did not like you. Yeah, Trump is a loser. He's a coward. And he thinks that he can bully and bulldoze over our democracy and our rights.
Mm-hmm.
But not if I can help it. Not if you have powerful black women like these three women that you see on this panel here today, pushing back. We as black people, we all have to rise up. Yeah, he said that marriage should be between a man and a woman, Pope Leo. We were thinking that he was an ally to the queer community. No. How about we mind the business that pays us and let people love who they want to love, Pope Leo? Because the same sentiment that you're echoing is the same sentiment that Donald Trump and these Republicans have ran off of, which is fear. Fear
Right.
of LGBT people, fear of the immigrants. And you're deporting people as their children are headed off to school. You're deporting people out of this country because they are protesting for something that they believe in, using their First Amendment right, and you want to deport them out the country. Black and brown people. And then come to find out that you and the dictator in El Salvador had some sort of a deal going on. Y'all are building prisons.
Mm-hmm.
Let's build about 5 more. Were those not his words that he said to the president of El Salvador? Let's build about five more. We can take some Americans too. Come on, bring them in. And who are those prisons for? They're for us. But if you think that black people gonna let you come up in their homes, bust into their homes without a warrant, or you got another thing coming. Y'all thought we had the riots in 1992 from Rodney King. This is a whole new generation of black people right here. We are not our ancestors. So you can roll up on a black person if you want to and try to snatch them up out of this country. We will invoke the spirit of the Alabama broke ball. Or as they would say in certain videos, the Alabama sweet tea party.
Mm-hmm.
This ain't churchy's, bitch. So, and yes, Jonesy said it best. Pope Leo does have African blood in them. And that's another thing. Whenever we get in some royal position,
Mm-hmm.
it can be the Duchess
Mm-hmm.
of Sussex, Meghan.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all went out here and y'all attacked this black woman.
Right.
First Lady of the United States, Michelle Obama. President of the United States, Obama. Whenever a black person we rise into the occasion, we're qualified to do the jobs that some of y'all are not capable of doing. We're DEI hires. But we know the DEI and woke are code word for black and the other word that they really want to say, which is the N word. This is a new generation again. A lot
Mm-hmm.
of black people are not going to take too well to you using that word to us because we will give you everything you wish for and then some. It was a white woman who took it upon herself, a Karen who took it upon herself to call a black woman the N word in the gas station. And you saw what happened. She deliberately said that. And homegirl gave you a right hook and a left hook. And you was on the floor. You was holding on to her fist.
Mm-hmm.
Again, black people, we're not going to take too well to you calling us that. That's been what y'all been wanting to call us for decades. For years, y'all have been calling us. If it's not the colors, because that's what we referred to back then. We wasn't African Americans. We were treated as second-class citizens as we are currently now
Right.
under this administration. So let me get off my soapbox. We're going to go to another topic, but that's all I got for that. All right, ladies, here is some good news. All right. YWCA Southampton Roads Conference to honor women shaping a more equitable future. And this is from Black Enterprise. Again, Black Enterprise also gives great information on how we, as Black business owners, as anybody who holds stocks or whatever you want to know, you can go to Black Enterprise and they will give you great resources. It is time that we start also supporting Black media more than ever, supporting Black filmmakers. Again, these two beautiful ladies here are actresses, so make sure that you are supporting what they are doing. And because we have another girl talk coming up, it was originally supposed to be four of us, but our sister Jacquay couldn't be with us, but hopefully she will be joining us in the next Girl Talk. But ladies, what do you think about this conference?
Want to
No problem.
go? Go ahead. I'll let you speak on it first.
I think it's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I very grateful for, a lot of times people don't do their homework. They don't look into things, see why things are
Mm-hmm.
happening, and most of the time somebody needs to say something.
Right.
So I very grateful for your knowledge and really looking into things. Like, I did my homework, so yes, this is what's happening. And actually giving us this platform to voice our opinions of how it's affecting us, because you're speaking for somebody that's too afraid to say anything. So thank you for that.
You're welcome, girl. And I want us as Black women, because we have been they've been telling us we need to be quiet.
Mm-hmm.
We need to stay in our place. We're not doing that anymore. Because
No.
see, what y'all trying to take us back is to, what is it, The Handmaid's Tales. If y'all watch that show, which is an outstanding show, but
Hmm.
it is about having control over women. And then when a Black woman walks into the room, we shake that table. We shake that
Mm-hmm.
fucking
Mm-hmm.
table. We walk in and we break those doors
Hmm.
down. Like Jasmine Crockett, who came in and she told us what she really wanted to say about Miss Homegirl in Georgia, what she really wanted to call her. But she thought quick on her feet and she said, let me do this differently.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I think this is dynamic that
Yeah.
the YWCA is doing this
Yeah.
for African
I
American
think it's
women.
great. To help expand funding, maybe offer like more mentorship programs for the community, Black community, as far as entrepreneurship, from tech to finance, even even the creative industry, because we need that. Um, Definitely, with the times we're living in, the education on the financial literacy, I believe, will definitely help. Um, those who want to start businesses, more information on the business planning for us, and, just economics as a whole. I don't know how they're going to even okay. So like here, even in Wilmington, the YWCA does a lot for the community, not just the Black community, but those who are less fortunate as well. Um, I know people who actually have went to them to get help with like rental assistance and things like that, light assistance. They seem to me to be coming like the Department of Social Services on another level. Yeah, so I'm grateful for it. I think it's a great thing.
And the YWCA Southampton Roads, the world's oldest and largest multicultural women's organization, is preparing to honor women's voices, resilience, as
Hmm.
I just said to Nekelia. They try to silence Black women's voices. They try to silence Black people as a whole, as a
Hmm.
collective. They try to silence our voices. And it is preparing to honor women's voices,
Hmm.
resilience, and leadership during its fourth annual conference of REST, Racial Equity and Social Transformation.
Hmm.
And I think we need this more than ever.
Hmm.
Now, the event will take place in June next month, and it will celebrate the theme, which is What About Women, as attendees gather with the organization head of Juneteenth to acknowledge women's critical role in advancing justice and equity, even as they face
Hmm.
everyday challenges. And we still
Yeah,
do face everyday
every
challenges
day.
in the workplace.
Hmm.
We still experience, well, since we're Black women, misogyny.
Yeah.
That's why Kamala experienced, misogyny war. And they gave Joe Biden so much backlash off of saying, well, because she's a woman. No, he was telling the truth. A lot of people didn't want a woman to lead.
No.
They didn't think that women were capable of being in leadership positions. But just like any man can lead, we can lead also too.
True that. It's our time.
And I'm gonna put some more gems on that. We look good doing it.
I agree. Agree.
A man wouldn't last a day in a pair of stilettos and a miniskirt for hours. Mm-mm. You wouldn't be able to do it. We come in and we own that room, and we will demand that you see and you listen to what we have to
Mm-hmm.
say. But there is a woman that is leading in Mexico, Claudia. Yep, President Claudia, who was one of the ones out here pushing back against Agent Orange. He tried to bully her as well too.
Yeah. Agent.
Jasmine, Jasmine got a nickname for him. I call him Agent Orange. Harold calls him Harold. What does Harold call him, Deshaun? He calls him the President Tangerine. I mean, we make up all sorts of names for him. We could go all day long. The tangerine colored man, yes, with the tiny hand. But I would say this: times are changing. You're going to see more and more women rise up in these positions that men are holding. So
Yeah.
to a lot of these men who are thinking that, oh, well, she can't do this, she can't do that. Yes, she can.
Mm-hmm.
Even
And
in
do
the
it better.
corporate world, climbing that corporate ladder,
Mm-hmm.
as you balance out doing stock, as you balance out doing business, as you balance out doing finance,
Mm-hmm.
whatever it may be, you will see more and more Black women rise up. And I'm predicting by the next year,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to see more and more
Mm-hmm.
women that are going to be in leadership positions, that are holding business. So shout outs to the YWCA
Yeah.
for doing this. I think this
Mm-hmm.
is great, helping your community more than ever. And a lot of people ask me, what is the first thing that we can do, Miss Stevie? Another thing about the conference on rest is it will kick off with the Legacy Awards breakfast, where Hampton Roads leaders will be recognized for their contributions to shaping a more equitable future for all. And when we say all, we're including everybody.
Right.
That's
That's right.
See, Black people, when we voted in this
Mm-hmm.
election, we voted to help everybody.
Right.
We didn't just vote because one person fits our interests, which is bigotry, which is racism, which is hatred, which is division, which is chaos, which is tyranny, as we're seeing right now. We voted to help you too, white people. So shout outs to Vivian Oden, who is the president and CEO of the Mouse Agency. She's going to be honored as well too. The vice president for equity and inclusion at the Hampton Roads Community Foundation, author and survivor advocate Kimba Smith and Virginia Organizing, and the keynote speaker, best-selling Mickey Kimball. Mickey
Mm-hmm.
Kendall, she is an author. She will address the attendees with illuminating perspectives drawn from her literature, advocacy, and work as a thought leader. So I say more and more we need to also be supporting Black writers as well, to Black authors, because Black literature is powerful. What they want to take away, because for people out there who don't know, we put it in the book because people will read that book. The information is there for you.
Mm-hmm.
The resources are there, and it is important that we continue to use these resources.
Mm-hmm.
So shout outs to the YWCA
Yeah.
for
Doing great.
that,
Great.
um, for continuing to keeping this going.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas we're seeing all of these government ran programs, we know with this administration, you're not going to get any help, any relief, as
Right.
Nekelia stated earlier.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to offer you any relief. FEMA, you want to cut funding from FEMA? There are people still. My girl Hope is in the North Carolina area. I have
Mm-hmm.
another girlfriend there. I have a brother there, and I have a cousin up there as well too. And there are people who still have not had their homes repaired from Hurricane Milton or Helene, because the beach blonde, bad built, butch body bigot Marjorie Taylor Greene and the tangerine colored man with the tiny hands decided to get out here and spew misinformation and disinformation about the hurricane.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the people actually believed
Mm-hmm.
it. That's how powerful Donald Trump's words are. When he says something, his base will believe
Yeah.
it. You will tell them that the sky is blue, they will believe that the sky is
Yeah.
red. So it is literally our truth being drowned out and his truth being amplified by outlets who decide to bend the knee and cave to him, like CNN and CBS. CBS dropped that, gave him what he wanted real quick. They cut off that lawsuit real quick. George Stephanopoulos, $15 million.
Mm-hmm.
They settled real quick because they
Yeah.
didn't want any retribution for
Mm-hmm.
him. You stand for something, you fall for anything.
Amen to that.
And with him, he'll still come after you if you make a deal with him.
Yeah.
So it's like it's no winning for losing. You will lose at the end of the day with him. So to anybody who's thinking that, oh, well, he's got my best interest. No, his best interest is himself, Elon Musk, Peter Thiel, Jeff Bezos, and any other billionaire or millionaire that capitulated or bent the knee to
Right.
him. That's who has his best
Mm.
interest. And it is not the American people. I wish it was us that could be in these, that were billionaires and millionaires. But see, black people, we're smart. We know how to balance money. We know how these things
Right.
because it's in our DNA.
True.
But y'all don't want us in these positions because we do a better job than you. And it's fear. What we are seeing right now, ladies, is white fear. And Nekelia said it best earlier. What they don't want you to know, they would rather keep the ignorant uneducated. Because see, you can learn from the person who's educated,
Mm-hmm.
who's been there, who's experienced these things. So before we close out, because this was a fabulous girl talk today, we went over two. I'm pretty sure. Uh, I love the descriptive word catapulted,
Mm-hmm.
not just beauty but brains
Mm-hmm.
too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and that was Kamala. Kamala had beauty. She had brains. She brought joy. With Trump,
Mm-hmm.
Trump is a dark entity. The
Yeah.
Bible talks about that dark entity,
Mm-hmm.
the devil, that demon. He's a zygote. That's what he is. He is a zygote. And the late Nikki Giovanni, who was a master at creating fine black literature and poetry, she said this about Donald Trump. Donald Trump is a mix of Satan and Hitler if they were to have a baby. And she did not lie because this man is literally the devil. Everything that he's doing is unconstitutional. You're willing to go past the judges who are telling you, no, you can't do this. You're wanting to lock up federal judges, the Wisconsin federal judge, and then the mayor that was outside the ICE facility, the black mayor, Baraki, I think his name is Baraki, got Barack, I'm sorry, got arrested.
Mm-hmm.
You're locking up people who are using their First Amendment right. Mayors, federal judges, you're going past everything that they're doing. That's fascism. You're labeling people as terrorists. Come on now. But that's all I have, fashion dolls. Um, I don't want to dive too deep in the mud, but we needed to hear this.
Yeah.
So before we close out this amazing, fabulous Girl Talking, my 800th interview episode, all of that, thank you all so much for your love and unconditional support. I didn't even care about the number. I've been reminding people that we've met my goal today, and I'm quite thankful. So no sick days, y'all. No sick days. Some days off, but no sick days. And consistent. Consistency is key. And I want my people, black people, to take away from this as well, too. That when you are consistent about something, when you are speaking out about something, be an advocate for someone who can't advocate for themselves. And we need each other. More than ever, black people, we need each other. So that
Mm-hmm.
means you can't shut out any group, no corner left unturned. Now, I know Deshaun is here. I don't know if he's still here or not. He's going to ask, what about Candace? Candace can stay her ass over there. She can kick rocks with flip-flops on. And Candace, for those of you who do not know which Candace I'm talking about, Candace Owens, the black conservative who thinks that black people are not the victims. And she said some very pretty dangerous things about us as black people. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Not just her. There's plenty others. You got Byron Donalds, Tim
Mm-hmm.
Scott. Pick your poison. I mean, there's so many of them out here. But to lighten the mood and close out the girl talk, because this was so fabulous, ladies. I can't wait for the next one in June. Uh, I want to give you all something very, very special. And we're going to close the show with an affirmation. Now, I've done the talking, so I'm going to let my ladies take over. And I sent some affirmations to our girl chat. And I want each woman going around the table to say which affirmation resonates with them the most. And hopefully it can resonate with other women that are watching as well, too.
Alrighty. I didn't get the ones that you sent to the group, but I had one that I cite every day with my affirmations. So
Go
I'm
ahead.
so sorry. It says, I must become that which I say I am. Therefore, I boldly declare I am rich, I see it, and I feel it. I am rich in health, happiness, love, success, prosperity, and money. Ashe.
Amen. Let's see.
Mm,
Yep,
mm, mm, mm.
that's mine.
Mine's, I would say, would be by shining my light, I help others shine theirs. And it goes back to what Nekelia just said. And that made me immediately think about my affirmation because I want people to continue to use your light. Don't let this dark entity
Right,
dim your light. Don't let anybody dim your light or silence your voice. And that was one thing Kamala said as well too. She said, never let anybody take your voice from you because just as loud as you're talking, you might be one voice. That voice can make an impact for millions of people across the
right.
globe, and it can help them as well too. So that's something that I would tell people: never let anyone dim your light.
Mm-hmm.
You are a bright light, so shine.
Mm-hmm. Love it.
And
All
Keela,
right, so I have two.
yeah, go ahead,
This
go ahead.
first one is real simple. It was quoted by Michelle Obama,
Ooh,
and she said, "I am good enough. Yes, I am." Um, the other one that I have is courage starts with showing up and letting ourselves be seen.
and in these times, I love that Nikita picked that. I know a lot of us are fearful of what is the outcome of the future. I tell you what is going to be the outcome of the future. God God is going to be the outcome of the
Amen.
future because he sees everything.
Yes.
He sees everything. And my mother always reassured that to me. She told me to read the 27th Psalm. And that is something that I live by, the 27th Psalm. So, to anybody out here who is feeling hopelessness, who's feeling despair, who's feeling emptiness, like, Lord, how am I going to get by these bills? You will get through, you will
Well,
overcome because black people, it is something so powerful in our DNA, in our melanin, in our genes
amen.
where we come back and reinvent ourselves. We just have to look out for our own and make sure that we keep everybody else around us alive, our grandmothers, grandfathers, great grandfathers, because they've experienced these type of things. It's just like how they say history is repeating itself over and
Mm-hmm.
over.
Yep.
We're seeing that now. But it was a congressman who said, if you think that black people are going to go back into a box where we were subservient to you, and if we didn't bend, we would get what? We would get whoopings or we would lose our lives. We're not doing that no more. This is a whole new generation.
I
Our
agree.
ancestors have fought, have bled, they have done all of this. But this is another generation that you're working with right now.
Mm.
So if you're thinking that you're going to come out here and bully us and steal our black joy, we're going to continue to keep living our best life. That's what we're going to continue to keep doing.
What we gotta do?
Amen.
As black people because we have been through it from having dogs and water hoses turned on us all the way from having food thrown at us
We overcome.
and even having told no, you need to go through the back door, you can't come through this door, you need to go
Hmm.
through this door. We're going to be here. Black people are not going anywhere because it
Nope.
is way more of us than you.
Absolutely.
That is my final thought. Fashion dolls. To my lovely ladies, I had such a fabulous time. It was like
Yes,
catching up with
absolutely.
girlfriends, and I can't wait for the next one. And I'm going to keep doing different branches of girl talks. So I like to mix and match, and I would like for my ladies here to meet the other ladies. Shout outs to Rose, shout outs to Simone, shout outs to Clara, shout outs to Kendra, shout outs to Fashionista. All of these women that I have in group one, but I might merge all of us together so just to make it a group of women, a group of powerful African American women who are each in their career goal. So Girl Talk is going to go around the world. And that is my goal and my mission. Just like with the YWCA and how they're giving back and honoring and highlighting Black women in these positions.
That's
I
amazing.
think that it's time that we do so more than ever too. And there's a couple pages here on Instagram that pay homage and honor Black women in positions as well too. The 92% page, and then
Mhm.
there is Win with Black Women. Again, shout outs to Reese Colbert, and so many others who are out here doing the work. Shout outs to Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, and shout outs to our girl Kamala. Kamala did not lose. But I can tell you who is the loser. The loser is in the White House right now. That's the loser. She didn't lose. Black women didn't lose. Black people didn't lose. Because we're on the right side of history. So I wanted to leave y'all with that. Just some optimism, just some joy, because I know a lot of people have been feeling it, turning on the news every day, scrolling down your phones. I doom scroll sometimes too. And I know it's a lot for all of us to take in. But focus on something and change the narrative. Create. Now's the time. If you are a writer, create. So that's all I got. But for my ladies, let everyone know where they can follow you and check you out. And your projects you have coming out or anything.
Did you want to go first, Hope?
Okay, so if you can download, well, our song "Don't Worry." It's D&D featuring Hope Ellis, also another up and coming artist. You can download it on all digital platforms. It's called "Don't Worry." You can actually go to the platform and put my name in a search, Hope Ellis, and the song will pop up. Inside Eddie, which is a mental health film. Part two, it'll be dropping, I think, by the end of the month. Like I said, fashion shows, more music. I still have the business going. The cleaning business is still going strong. Notary. Uh, look, hey, never know, some new things might come along. So hey, we up in 2025. Like I said, in the midst of all that's going on in the world, whatever's going on in your personal, everything's gonna be all right. And we're up. We are up.
And I heard
Um,
that your song, it was beautiful. I liked it.
don't worry, you heard that?
Yes, I liked it. I liked it.
Awesome.
That
Thank you so
yes,
much.
you did.
Thank you so much. I put my
Yes,
information in for you guys on IG and on Facebook. It's in the chat.
it did.
Yeah.
There you go. Fashion dolls. And
Yes.
Nikila, you have your cosmetics brand and everything that you're working on. So let everyone know where they can follow you and check you
Yes.
out.
So I am still working on my cosmetic line. It's actually products that I make myself. So I am still working on that. So more information will be available for that this summer. I am a director, actress, model, businesswoman. I'm also a Texas notary. So
Yeah.
you can find me on Instagram at Nikki underscore Nekelia, spelled Nekelia, and I'll link it at the bottom as well.
Awesome.
Same thing on Facebook, Nikki underscore Nekelia.
Proud of you. Proud of you, Stevie.
Thank you. Proud
Proud of
of you too.
you too, baby.
Thank y'all, ladies. And y'all don't even need to follow me. Y'all know where y'all can find me here every day. Every day on Instagram, Monday through Friday. Style by Stevie. Again, thank y'all all so much for your
Thank
love, your unconditional support. And make sure that you're supporting these two beautiful women here as well too. And there were a lot of women in the audience that were engaged in the
Mhm.
conversation. So ladies, thank you. And I
Thank
hope
you.
this helps as well too. I hope this helps everybody because I know we just needed a moment where we could just scream, get it out because everything that you're doing, everything that he's doing is making us angry. So you have to figure out a way to get it out and talking with people. Form your community, form your tribe. And these women didn't know each other. I put us all in a group together and I had to ask them in each individually because they know there's a thing in the business with women. They always think that there's a certain cattiness that women can't work together.
Right.
But yes, we can.
Yes, we
Yes,
can.
we
Yes, we
can.
can.
They think it's a cattiness. Like y'all, they even do it in the hip hop industry. Like, oh, Nikki's better than this person. Cardi. At the end
Division.
of the day, we're in a male dominated field.
Mm-hmm.
We're women at the end of the day. And we understand how misogyny works and how they pit us against each other. So Girl Talk is to showcase that Black women collectively, and we've seen it on shows like Living Single,
Yeah.
Girlfriends, where Black women, there's a sisterhood, there's a camaraderie.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I created Girl Talk. So we will be back again in June.
Yes.
And hopefully you will get to see all four of us together. And we will have different topics to try to take your mind off of everything that's going on. And you'll hear 4 different perspectives or 3, whatever may have you. But I want to merge all of my girl talks together. So stay tuned for that. Next week on Style by Stevie, we have Gerald Dwayne, and that lineup is already dropped. Make sure y'all go and vote for your favorite look of the week. It was 5 different looks. That information will be posted as well too. And head on over and subscribe to Style by Stevie Daytime on YouTube if you have not. And hit that bell so you'll be notified. You are so welcome. I love this lady talk. Oh, thank you, Jonesy. And I wanted a lot of women to take away from this because I know we're seeing what's going on
Mm-hmm.
with this administration, taking away rights from so many people
Mm-hmm.
and how it's going to impact the Black
Mm-hmm.
collective. So had to be spoken on. It had to be spoken on. So I hope y'all enjoy
We
it.
love
Y'all
you.
have a fabulous weekend. And I love you too,
We love
girl.
you.
And we will chat in the girl chat as well too. I had a good time and I will send the link so you ladies can share once it is uploaded to the channel.
Okay.
And again, make sure that you're supporting these ladies. And thank you for supporting me, always checking out everything. And I will see y'all next week, Fashion Dolls.
All right,
Take
baby.
care, everyone.
See you love.
One, take care. I love
Love
y'all.
you.